Good morning. I have green juice mustache. Someone just woke up and she wants celery. She loves crunchy vegetables. So today's cleaning day and I want to do this as an environmentally themed vlog. Sophie is feeling a little better. I don't know if that means anything, to be honest with you, but at least day to day she's mostly not struggling. Her struggle is with her heart rate and her breath, but she's mostly feeling good. We still are not expecting a massively long lifespan based on what the predictions say and what the vet said, but who knows, those things are kind of... So today's, I slept for 10 hours. I've been sleeping a lot since I gave birth, maybe because we wake up through the night, I'm not sure, is that just me, but I literally sleep quite a bit in order to feel fully rested. That could be also because I'm exercising. But today's vlog will be we'll talk about, and I'll do a tryout haul for organic cotton clothing. So we'll talk about organic cotton and in general shopping, and I'll talk about other environmental ways to improve your household. One way to be a little more environmental is obviously either to be vegan or to eat as little animal products as possible and to make your own juices. And baby just started to like dates. She really hated dates up until now, which is so surprising considering how much I love dates. She did not like dates up until yesterday. Yesterday she started really, for the first time, not spitting them out. She wouldn't even accept them as an ingredient. If I hide them in something, she would eat the whole thing. Now all of a sudden she turned a new leaf. She's eating dates. Maybe it's because she got more teeth finally. And I want to show you the flowers. Those are wildflowers from around the house. It's so amazing that in fall you can get that in Texas. And some of them are edible. If you know which ones are edible, let me know. I know that rosemary is edible for sure. This one is rosemary, the small little, this one, the small purple one is rosemary. I'm pretty certain that most of them are edible, but if you know how to identify them, let me know. And I have to show you something which also ties in with the environmental stuff. You know those big mature coconuts? I've been drinking the water from them and I found some crazy cool recipes to do with them so that I don't waste the meat. Hold on. I will include the recipe in a little bit, but basically you can make it into a cake. Basically, someone got in here, you can make it into a cake layer, or it's just very versatile. You can make it savory and it tastes like omelet, or you can make it more like a cake. And I'll make a little bit of frosting and put two layers together in small cookies, maybe kind of sugar, cinnamon, tahini frosting or jam, something like that, and I'll cut it up in small cookies. This one is sweet and I made one savory. The baby ate almost all of it. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is shopping and environmental shopping. Now, I've been trying to change my ways of how I shop and how I do things, but with the move and everything, I actually have less farmers markets here. So it is being a challenge with certain produce items that come in plastic and stuff, but with clothing and things there is options. Thrifting for certain things, of stuff from Packed. It was so funny because I was just researching an organic brand the night before, and I went to bed. It was organic brand for underwear, and the next morning I received from email from them, would I like to feature them on my channel, and I said, oh yes, I like the synchronicity. So it is a really cool website I wanted to let you know about, with actually a lot of really good things and sales and deals. Like you can buy 3 men t-shirt, but really cool organic cotton men t-shirt for I think $30, so 10 each. And they have underwear, because one thing you want to buy for sure, and obviously for me, to me, is underwear. I know maybe some people thrift for underwear, but I got a few things and I want to show you. So I got organic pajamas for baby. They're made all of organic cotton with, I think, a touch of elastin, so they're nice and stretchy, and they have such cool little baby pajamas. And here is the bottoms, and they have really good deals if you buy 2 at a time. And then I got her training pads. If someone knows how to use those, also let me know. I haven't researched it, but it sounded like the next step. Training pants, I should say, not pads. It's a pack of 3 and they're real cute. And I got me 2 pairs of underwear. They have really cool hoodies there, dresses, socks, like leggings, yoga bras. I was so tempted to get yoga bras, but I got some other things. So I got underwear. I think I got a medium. They're fair trade, cotton. Research, if we buy cotton a lot, most cotton is GMO, so it's contributing negatively to the environment and the farming practices and the farmers who are involved in it. So trying to shop organically is really important and cool. And this is Packed Organic. I'm pretty certain I have a coupon, and I'll list it below. Then I'll show you other things I've been doing more environmentally. And this underwear, they had really pretty underwear, but I selected the medium because I don't like to feel my underwear. Like if it's a little bit too tight on me or something, I just feel like I'm in prison or something. Like I have to rip out of socks and sleeves and necks and underwear and weird like that. And I got a t-shirt dress. I'm gonna put it on and show you. And I also got this t-shirt dress. It is considered pajamas. They're gonna like it around the house. I don't like it for outside, but Johnny doesn't, so I think I'm just gonna stick to the inside of the house. I've been wanting to wear a t-shirt dress, kind of like a boyfriend t-shirt, oversized t-shirt. It's long in the back and a little shorter at the front, and it's a little baggy. Obviously, it's not as flattering as if it was more form-fitted, but it's really comfortable. And it's organic, so it feels very, I don't know, I tend to like to wear organic things. When I can buy organic, I do, because it makes me feel all bushy inside the cotton. And let's go show you another thing I do environmentally. So one thing I've always been doing is I use hand towels and I put them in a basket, and typically I would have a trash basket on the floor, but because baby will get to it for now I'm using that for the used towels. And it's important that you have it in a basket form so that they don't get moldy inside these braids, and that way you don't use paper towels at all. For me, paper towels are one thing that I just cannot stand and that's always been something I've been using through the years. That plus I'm a considerate shopper. I don't shop for fun, or I don't buy things in excess unless I make an honest mistake, but I don't just shop to shop. And the next thing that is really cool is a set of straws. so that you don't have to use those plastic straws, which are really bad for the environment and for the animals. I'm missing two. One is in the wash. Those are metal straws. You can get metal straws, and that reduces your use of plastic straws, especially if you take them with you places. And that's another thing I've kind of implemented into my life, plus the shopping bags and implementing produce bags. Those are my small contributions. I'm making baby steps, I have to be honest. Being vegan is 3 million times easier than being lower waist, because everything is kind of wrapped in plastic and it's really difficult to get away from it. Especially for me, if I need to get lettuce, I have to get lettuce because my health depends on certain items that I eat, and there I can't compromise. So it is a very challenging thing to reduce your waist, but I'm doing it in my small ways, and I feel that I don't need to be a perfectionist. As long as I keep making steps towards having a more sustainable life, that is fine. Eventually I'll be gardening and I'll get to a place where I'm using very little plastic, but now I still have to buy certain produce items because I am picky about my food and I need to buy fruits and veggies, and if I'm not buying the wrapped ones, I'll be starving. So let's talk about date fast. I always get so many questions because it's such an integral part of my life, and I'm such a, someone said you're my favorite date ambassador, Jessie. Seriously, I work for dates, but when you eat a lot of fruit, it is good to listen to, if you're craving salty, usually you're craving minerals, so it's good to, before, I personally don't necessarily crave salty because my body now craves greens, but before you have given your body enough greens, it doesn't even know what's craving, it's craving salty. So you balance certain fruits, especially dates, with greens. One type of green I have during the intermittent fasting phase, it doesn't bother me that much, especially if you juice it, it's even better. This one is blended, it's celery and lemon. I share it a lot. Another way to do it, and cucumber this one has, you can add parsley, ginger, and all kinds of spinach, other things. Either strain it, juice it, or blend it, however it works. With lemon, the bitterness is offset. Lemon offsets the bitterness, so you can have a lot of greens and they taste good. Another thing is to blend greens with bananas. Bananas make it creamy and sweet, again offsets the bitterness. And sometimes I like a more of a savory variety. It's not sweet and it's not tart, it's not tangy, but it is with coconut milk. So you blend your typical greens, kale and parsley, etc., with coconut milk, a little bit of black pepper, and it becomes really delicious. Now I just received a box of California dates. I just bought a box of California dates recently, and I ate these ones yesterday. I ate them with my celery crunch. It's so good. Now, in California I used to get softer ones, but due to shipping I'm sure this is as good as it will get, unless I get a little softer next. But I would put this on, I would slice iceberg lettuce. I'll slice iceberg lettuce and I will put them on top of the slices, and it becomes this sandwich that's crunchy, sweet, watery, and extremely satisfying. I just love it. Dates on top of iceberg lettuce wedges or whatever it's called. And that was dinner for me. I literally wanted that for dinner, and I had a kale savory smoothie after, and I'll tell you why. Because dates do not go well together with lemon. they will, if you eat a lot of dates, and I ate over 20 dates, and then you have lemon, it will help the digestion of the sugars. It's not a very good combination, so it's good to not combine lemon and dates in one meal. That's why I change it up, and I find other ways to have greens. The lemon is during the day and before my meal, and then with my meal, if it's very sweet, I just have it without the lemon, because good digestion is important, feeling good is important, sleeping deep. I've noticed that if your digestion is off, sometimes you don't even know it is off, and you don't sleep well. Throughout my pregnancy, you know how pregnancy is the time when you have stomach acid. I was perfect because I didn't eat oil. Oil is what causes the acid in pregnancy, I'm convinced. I ate very hot and spicy food, meaning hot sauce I had the sodium-free hot sauce, but I pretty much stayed most of the time without any stomach acid due to how careful I was with my diet and my oils and fats and so forth. And I've noticed that if you have insomnia, oftentimes it is because either your liver is working very hard or your stomach, you may not even know it, and it's keeping you up. That's why it's important, digestion, not just to feel good and to have no stomach discomfort, but also because of a lot of other processes in the body. Intermittent fasting, I get a lot of questions because it's almost very popular now, but it's also very controversial. It shouldn't be, but it is. I think if you have a way of eating that works for you, then don't even bother. Naturally, we are drawn. I'm in general the person that is. I first go against the grain to test things, and then I find things to do. So if I'm told to eat 3 meals a day, I'm gonna question it. That's just my personality. Since I was a child, I was a rebel in the sense that I do not conform to the norm. I don't know how to explain it. It's just that I personally don't take things I don't assume things to be true just because that's how it's been done. That to me is not good enough explanation. I like to test them. So when I do things, they're usually kind of unusual. And I've accepted that about myself. I don't mind how I am. I don't take insane pride in it. I'm glad I'm this way, but it's just a matter of fact how I am. I don't assume things to be hold on, let me put you on the. I never believed that we're supposed to eat 3 meals a day, or we're supposed to eat on schedule. I do believe that that's good for some people. I mean, probably it's based on your personality and on your physiology. We all kind of have different needs and different ways of processing reality, and that changes how we digest and assimilate food. I really think everything is a little more spiritual than it is physical. So the way we process and assimilate information is how we really deal with the physical matter, because nothing is really physical, it's just levels of density. So we all need something different because of our mind, really, because of our soul, really, not because of our actual physical body. The physical body follows the vibrations and the energy. So if you're not doing, oftentimes if you're not doing well, if you're not feeling well, it is because of the mind. The mind dictates everything and the physical follows. The reason why we do practice fasting and all of that is so that we can keep the body clean, so we can tune into higher vibrations, download higher information, stay on that frequency, radio frequency, if you will, of higher information. So we're operating on a higher level. That's why we try to purify the body, try to eat things that are at a higher frequency, raw vegetables, fruits, etc. Raw herbs, wild foraging is very high frequency plants. Flowers are extremely high frequency. Berries, wild berries, if you forage, is very high frequency. But in the cities you can buy things, just vegetables and fruits. Fruit is the highest frequency of the common human foods, because there is no karma involved in it. You don't harm anything by collecting fruit. The trick, continuous living, it is biologically designed for us. We can easily harvest. So back to intermittent fasting. If you're not happy with how you feel now, then look into it. You don't have to change anything. It's not the way for everybody. There's no one way for everybody. And again, because of our mind, some people are, for example, not ready to not eat meat. They will not try it because of the mind. I don't think it's because it's not good for us. It's just, it's only not good for you if you cannot benefit from it. If you cannot tune into the frequency of something, you're not gonna understand it. You're not gonna harmonize with it. So vegan for some people is effortless, if you've noticed, and other people right now in the vegan community, I try to stay away from it. Everybody is like, there's big YouTubers going back to eating meat. They don't do well, and the reason why they don't do well is because, and I just wanted to talk, it's turning into a docu video. I wanted to talk a little bit about why so many vegans, I opened one video about someone that almost died on a vegan diet, or like the vegan diet doesn't work for them, and then I'm bombarded daily with hundreds of videos of people. So why doesn't it work for people? To me, it's very simple. It's if you never went to Whole Foods without being restrictive, you just naturally, intuitively end up on an intuitive Whole Foods diet, you've never even gotten to an actual healthy diet. Fruits and vegetables as the base of your diet. If you've never gone there, if you've always eaten processed foods, overly prepared foods, things like that, you just never transition. That's one. If you don't refine your body, purify your body, you will not refine your thoughts. We are fine-tuning the frequency we operate on, all of us. We're trying to rid ourselves of ignorance. We're trying to refine our body. We're trying to tap into wisdom, and that happens over a long period of time. Even if you are not offended by me saying that, even over thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of lives. So it takes a while. There are people that thrive on a vegan diet, obviously, because their mind doesn't operate on a lower frequency. I see a lot of vegans, their minds are overly logical, so of this physical brain. So they're not pulling any type of wisdom. They're operating on a lower frequency brainwave thought pattern, and they overthink. Because this is a little bit like what I eat in a day. I started the day with this coffee. I was excited to buy it because it's yellow cut to white, so it's like an heirloom variety. But what it is, it's called pulp natural process, which means that they leave the coffee cherry, which is really, why is it not focusing? They leave the coffee cherry on the coffee beans and dry it in a process of fermenting the beans, and the cherry stays on it. The cherry is very sweet. It's a fruit. And the beans are the seed, so it makes it sweet and honey-like. So it's called honey processing. The whole pulp on top of the bean is the honey processing. It's the honey processing because it leaves a little bit of a honey aroma, and sometimes it is sweet actually because of the fruit in the coffee fruit. So I better finish my, I think I cut off my thought on intermittent fasting, but if you have questions, post them below and I will finish it or answer it in a different video. And I wanted to update you on Sophie. Let's see if she's in the other room. She's doing a lot better. She doesn't have those symptoms that scared us, but the vets were so weird about telling us that she's Sophie. They must have taken her in Johnny's mom's place. She's doing a lot better. We're not taking her out on walks. She's not in the going out in the heat. We've been using AC this whole summer, so she's doing better because it's cool. She's cool, so hopefully she'll leave. I pretty much spent probably 3-4 days in like a really like sad place. I cried the entire 3-4 days when we thought she's gonna just die within that week. It was really, really tough because she's young, and I came to accept whatever it is. After, like, you can't continue crying with such sorrow for too long, but I literally couldn't do anything. I just cried. And I've come to accept it. It is possible that she doesn't have a very long life, but it's also possible that she sticks around for another year, 2, 3, whatever she wants to do. But she's doing a little better. She doesn't have this hyper breathing, and her heart is not racing, so maybe hopefully she could recover. She's doing better, and we'll see. We've been told by vets many times that she would just die, drop and die right there, so maybe she has something else in mind. But that's on Sophie, because some of you love Sophie and want to know about Sophie. So she feels better, and she is around. The sad thing about her is that she has the spirit of a very active dog, and she can't exercise and be that very active dog because her body doesn't support her spirit. So we don't take her to play dates because her hips will go out. She jumps too hard. She's a really, really intense dog. She does not care about her body, and she's a maniac. And she can't do many things that she needs to do or wants to do because of her body limitations. So although she has had a good life, and it's still a good life, she can't be the maniac she wants to be. So in her next life, we know she's gonna be a raging puppy maniac, probably a male, 'cause she's so alpha male. And for now, she's just gonna enjoy. Johnny's mom also has a little dachshund Chihuahua mix, who's really, really cute, smart, and he's also an alpha male, so she's submissive to him even though he's this little. So now she has a little bit of friend and someone that she can spend time with. So things are good for Sophie, but you know, she doesn't get her insane energy out. That's the only thing that she doesn't get to do. But you know, it's no one has it perfect.